Welcome to the Relateable podcast, a safe space for open and honest conversations created for Black people.
This podcast explores how we relate to one another in our intimate connections, friendships, family, and everything in between. Hosted by 3 Caribbean women. I am Fiona, a single mom.
I'm Shaween, a very near empty nester.
And I'm Chantal, a free-spirited monogamist. Relatable, because a shared journey brings hope. Hello. We're back. It's your favorite girls, Shaween, Fiona, and me, Chantal, of the Relatable podcast, with a new trilogy. We're calling this trilogy The Pleasure Principle. Oh, yes.
Boy.
Yeah.
Don't get no ideas.
Pleasure Principle.
Boy.
Picture me doing the Janet Jackson move from the video. Pleasure. Okay, I'm done. Right. So this trilogy really is focusing on sensuality, sexuality, and pleasure. And we think it's important to have this particular conversation because in our community, and when we say our, we mean Black, okay? So Black, wherever you're there, okay? Wherever you're based as a Black body person, these conversations are for you. And we're hoping that amongst the many conversations and the threads that develop from this, that something sparks, something resonates, and that it becomes relatable. And also know this, when we're having these conversations, we're learning things too, yeah? We are not the experts on, I was going to say nothing, but actually, I think we can claim that we are maybe not experts, but we have knowledge in certain fields because the word expert kind of gives the connotation that you know everything about everything. How do you feel about that word, Fiona, expert?
Well, just like we were talking earlier, before we started recording about imposter syndrome, and I think getting to the point of believing that you are an expert, I think takes time. But sometimes you have those marks. Have you seen Soul, the cartoon?
I have.
Right. So for those who have seen Soul or those who haven't, there is a moment where musicians reach this kind of high, right? Where it's like they peak and it's like so joyful, like their soul is at their happiest, right? And I think when you are delving into a specific subject, when you reach that peak, that kind of where your soul feels that fulfillment, I think that is when you're beginning to become an expert because it's passion driven and it's like your soul is feeling that fulfillment.
Right.
And when you're talking shit, you don't get that fulfillment. Right? When you're beating your ass and you don't know what, and you're just trying to act like you know what you're doing, you don't reach that high. Okay. You only reach that high when you know, this is what I've meant to be doing.
Right. So
I know what I'm doing.
Right.
So that's that's what I'd say.
Okay. All right. Shaween, how do you feel about, I know we've gone off on a tangent, but bear with us. Shaween, how do you feel about the word expert?
Well, I would not be able to articulate it the way Fiona has done. But yes, I think it's at that level where you're so confident with yourself and what you're saying or what you're doing that, yes, you could call yourself an expert. And it doesn't mean necessarily that you have the theoretical aspect of it down. Sometimes you just have the experience. It comes with experience. It comes with, how you've dealt with things in the past, how you've dealt with people and the different outcomes. So I think definitely some topics, especially the one we're about to embark on, I would not call myself an expert as in to teach people. I would call myself an expert in the way I deal with myself and these situations.
Okay.
So,
clicking my fingers.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Okay. Nice. I love the way that you guys explored your own perception and understanding of that particular word, expert. I don't feel that I am yet the expert in any particular thing. I feel
That's some
that
bullshit,
there are things that extremely
proper
knowledgeable.
bullshit, by the way.
Y'all calling me bullshit?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I call bullshit.
You call bullshit.
Mhm.
Okay.
Hard.
I don't understand. Just no respect. No respect in this place. I don't, but I do feel no, but okay, bear with me.
Okay,
I have a confidence in my knowledge of certain subject areas and experiences. Absolutely. But I don't feel that I can claim to be a developing expert. That's how I feel.
Okay.
I can be a developing expert, but I don't think that I'm at the pinnacle point of my knowledge about the things that I am very passionate, that I feel very passionately about. I'm very good at different things. I know that for sure. I will own that. I am very damn good at a few things. I'm not the master of any yet. I don't feel that way. I'm getting there because I always feel that there's always something to learn. You know, especially in the things that you guys know I'm passionate about in film, like there's always so much to learn.
Okay, so would you say, would you say that Spike Lee is an expert in film?
Oh my God, Fiona.
Salop. Good answer.
Answer. Fiona Compton.
Good.
I do.
Oh,
okay.
I would have, listen.
Okay.
I do.
You do.
I do.
And there are so many Spike Lee films that we all love.
Yes.
And you and me very religiously watched She's Gotta Have It.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we did.
And there are so many things that we love.
Where you're going with this.
And did not love about it.
Very true. The series, not the film, guys, to be clear.
Yes, the series.
We're talking about the
series. And
the series for Netflix, that's Spike Lee.
Despite certain things maybe falling short in our opinions,
yes,
it never took away from your perception of believing that Spike Lee is an expert in filmmaking.
I knew she was going there. Yes.
And being an expert is recognizing that you have room to grow, that you have space to grow, because there is growth needed within you for you to even reach that even higher level. Because if you think, I've plateaued, there's no more for me to do, then there you are living in a state of stagnancy.
Exactly.
So how can an expert be someone who's just swimming in a lake of stagnancy, of stale water, just regurgitating the same things over and over? To me, that will start to make you not be an expert. So recognizing that you need to grow and then there's still space for growth is exactly what makes an expert, because you're forever evolving.
True.
So what were you saying about yourself now?
Oh, you see, and I knew this was the segue. Like I felt it the minute I said what I said and Fiona responded the way that she responded. I already knew how this was going to play out. Okay. I'm like, I know what she's going to say. I know where she's going. Lord of mercy. Yeah. I really backed myself into a corner there.
Yes.
Yeah. I did that to myself. Okay. There are some things that I will own. Okay, Fiona, if we're putting it that way, yes. Thanks for calling me out on my bullshit. There are some things
I love it.
I
love that I'm not the only one getting called out
today. I know, because I'm like, wait,
I'm letting you happen? Take all.
No.
But you're always calling me out on my bullshit when I diminish myself.
How did we get here?
It's your turn. That's all, man.
I don't like this.
Thank you. It's not nice, is it?
I am uncomfortable in this position. Okay. All right.
Oh my God.
So bringing it back to what we actually said at the beginning, the theme for the next few episodes, which is sensuality, sexuality, and pleasure. We're going to start off today by actually exploring sensuality. Yes. But before we dive into things, hello, how are you all doing? Sherwin, how has your week been?
Ooh, honey. You know what? This week has been, I'll be very honest, this week has been challenging for a few reasons. First off, Lucas started school. Lucas started high school. Not high school, sorry. College. What am I talking about?
Sixth form.
Started college at Sir Afa. And my boy, I took him to school on the first day. The second day, the first day I went to pick him up from school, don't think he was too happy with me for that. But anyway, because I left my boy. The second day, I took him to the bus stop. And then I'm waiting for him to tell me, okay, school is finished. He's going to come meet me somewhere. Man called me when he reached home just to make sure that I come and pick him up at school.
Wow.
He called me when he reached home. He said, Mommy, I am home. I said, what? Okay. Now, on one hand, I'm proud. On the other hand, I'm shitting myself. I'm like, what?
Go, Lucas.
The man did it, Gassa.
Yes.
And since then, he's been going to and from school on his own. So he went yesterday, came home on his own, today as well. So that's been a bit tough. The second thing is all my shipments came through. So I had the fun of dealing with customs and shipping companies. But I have this amazing broker who's taking over and just being just wonderful. Just wonderful. They've done so well. But of course, lo and behold, one of the most expensive items, my television, went missing. So my broker was like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? Let me deal with it. And we found my telly nicely placed in a small room. And I don't know how it got there. I don't know. But you know something? I got
magically somebody just put a whole giant ass TV on it was an accident, showing.
It was an accident. It was a very, unfortunate accident. But we found it. We found my TV sitting comfortably, and it's being delivered to me hopefully today or tomorrow. So I'm just packing. This week was just a bit challenging for these reasons. But nevertheless, I am very happy. I was prepared for it. I knew this was going to come. Obviously, not my TV going walkies, but I knew it would have been a challenging week having to deal with all of this. So it's okay. It's okay. The weekend is here. I could breathe. Indeed. So yes, I have the beach to go to. So it's all right.
Oh, you didn't really have to say that out loud because Fiona is like.
I know. I didn't. It just came out. I'm sorry.
It's right. I say nothing.
Oh.
So Chantal, what's been happening with you this week?
What's been happening with me this week? This week has been work focused, and I didn't want it to be because y'all know I don't like to work, right? Let me make that clear. Chantal Olivia Miller doesn't like to work. Okay? I don't like it. I'm a Taurian woman. I like to relax my ass. So work took over my week. This week has felt like a month in a week.
Wow.
That's how it's been. And for those of you who don't know, I relocated to Nevis after not living here as my base, having Nevis as my base for 20 years. And so my intention has been to really slow down and be gentle with the way that I approach my experience here and whatnot. But obviously, even in that, I have to work. But I've been trying to even approach work from a very soft life type of perspective. But unfortunately, this week, that just wasn't happening. And it is what it is. Very happy that the day that we're recording is my final day of working for the work week. Like Shaween, I will be on the beach for most of this weekend.
It's okay. I'm going on the beach too, guys. So
where? Brighton?
At your father's house. That's what I'm going.
The beaches are not the same as the beaches in the Caribbean.
All right, so my father is guys.
Oops. I will be, I haven't communed with the ocean because we've been dealing with a tropical storm. The water hasn't been at its best. Fiona has actually now developed, and since developed into a hurricane, has really impacted on Puerto Rico quite badly. We'll share some links in the show notes, which Sherween diligently puts together every week. So you all need to read the show notes, but we will share some ways for you to donate to the recovery effort in Puerto Rico. Although Puerto Rico is officially a U.S. state, Puerto Rico is very much a part of the Caribbean. Okay. So we definitely care about our fellow Caribbean people over in Puerto Rico. We'll be sharing information about how you can help. So that really has been my week. And these are my plans for the weekend. Fiona, how was your week?
I don't know. It's hard to say. It's like a blur. Yeah, I watched the Queen's funeral. And it was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's interesting to watch. To be honest, I thought, like, when I looked at her coffin and stuff, and it had the crown and the scepter and all of those things, right?
Lord have mercy. Sorry.
When I looked at the bouquet of flowers, it looked very modest. Like I think maybe I was thinking about, boy, when I die,
Right.
like I want flowers everywhere. I want flowers cascading everywhere. And, you know, it just looked very subtle. The whole thing looked very, as you say, like pomp and ceremony and lots of things happening. But in the same way, it didn't look like, it wasn't filled with grandeur that I don't know, that I had envisaged. It was just interesting to witness it all. Of course, like with the whole thing, everyone has very mixed emotions. There's a lot, emotions are very heightened. And it was just me looking at someone's mom's funeral. That's how I saw it. That's how I chose to look at it. And then other than that, yeah, man, just, I don't know. I'm fighting depression, I'll say, to be honest, because some are done. And it's like, it's getting gray, or is gray, and it's getting chillier. And a lot of the things that we were so excited about at Carnival, all them kind of things, all those things are done. You all left me and gone about your business. So, you know, yeah, man, I'm trying to be as productive as possible to distract myself from falling into that hole. That's what I'm focusing on.
That tobacco coming down hard.
A little controversial, Fiona. And I think we discussed a little bit of this last week as well. How about you not be productive as a way of avoiding those emotions? I'm just putting it out there. And why not let yourself fall into the hole?
Ooh. I go there.
Ooh, I scared of that one, eh?
Okay. No, I just
personally scared of that one.
Wanted to put it out there. Okay. Because
I know why you're saying that. Because you're trying to hide from something and you're covering it up.
Not
and it's going to come back.
Not necessarily, but go ahead.
Okay, yes. In terms of, I know what you're saying, in terms of just kind of covering it up with work and stuff is a distraction and not an acceptance, because to get through it, you have to go through it. But I will consider your suggestion. I may ignore you and just go back to work.
Yes.
But I think I don't know how to rest anyway. So I have to be making concerted efforts to just like not be doing something. And that's very hard for me.
Okay.
So maybe, what about do something nice, you and your partner?
Yeah, all of those things are in the works. I mean, Gassa, my birthday coming up, Daman talking about plans. I'm like, Gassa, just leave it. Just allow it.
Okay. Fiona?
Yes, ma'am.
I think it's time for a Sherween and Shani let's get real session at some point during the upcoming episode.
A bashing.
But we're gonna leave you for today, right? We're gonna extend grace to you. But I love that you considered my questions. I really appreciate you considering them. And I love that you are also honest with me. I appreciate that as well. All right. Okay. So now that we've checked in, the listeners are like, God damn, we're having a full-on therapy session.
Yep.
You know, I am a creative healing practitioner and I care about my people. And when I feel that I can offer myself and serve them, I will do so. And even if it's live or recording on our podcast, because that's what we do, right? Community. Okay. So we're going to take a deep breath and we're going to get down to sensuality. So I'm going to ask you guys a question. When you think of sensuality, what is your definition of sensuality, Sherween?
I'll be honest, I did look it up. I'm not gonna lie. This is an honest.
No, so don't read the definition. I want to know.
I'm not gonna read it.
I'm not gonna
read it. I'm not gonna read it. But what I took from it is the ways in which you seek out pleasure, usually of a sexual nature. Okay. Now, I may have just given the exact definition, but
right.
It made me think because I know that word very well, sensuality,
Sensual.
but I never really looked at the root of it, looked at the actual definition. And when I knew we were doing that, I said, okay, let me check what that's about. And I was like, so I am a very sensual person. Very, like almost always.
Okay. Hold on to that, Shaween. Hold on to that.
Yeah, I'm holding on to it. But that's what it just made me realize something about myself.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. B, without Googling and researching, and before we had decided that we were going to have this conversation, when you thought of sensuality and being sensuous, what did that feel like for you? How did that land with you?
Okay, so Fiona is not at liberty to speak about these things, so I'm going to pass the mic. I'm going to pass the mic to my friend Finola. Okay, so Finola has some thoughts about sensuality that Fiona is not at liberty to speak about. Okay, so I'm passing the mic to Finola.
Okay, Finola, welcome.
Thank you guys for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I would say sensuality is sucking dick.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Bitch.
Okay. I wasn't ready for that.
Allow myself, Finola, to be clear about this. It is the intention behind doing this act because it's not about you. And it is about getting joy from the concept of giving someone pleasure, the anticipation, and the build-up before engaging in the final act. So to me, sensuality, Finola, is the build-up to the act, okay? The pursuit of it. And to me, one of the highest and most intense acts is something like that.
Okay.
I'm going to pass the mic back to Fiona. Thank you for having me.
Oh, okay. Finola, wonderful to have your perspective up in this part. Really appreciate it. Fiona, thank you for introducing us to Finola. Wow. Okay, Finola. So
bye, guys.
I had to be really honest with myself in terms of sensuality and being sensuous. I always, prior to my research, and I've been researching sensuality for maybe the last 2 years, really diving into it and what that means. But prior to doing that research, I equated being sensuous and being sensual, and therefore sensuality, with being sexual. Not necessarily a sexual act, but just being sexual and even in, the way that I move my body, and not necessarily within sex or within the act of sex, but just, if I'm dancing sensuously, or, I didn't look at it as an experience. And after doing my research and after reading and pouring into myself in a sensuous way over the last few years, I have come to really appreciate, as Shaween actually said, that we are essentially sensual beings. And this is the reason why. And I'm going to read to you from a journal written by Whitney. And the journal is called Sensual Self. And it's actually a workbook that I'm doing right now. I'm going to read this definition and I'm going to allow it to sit with you, right? So, sensuality is the process of being connected to your body, your senses, and what makes you feel good. It's about seeking out pleasurable moments, and when that pleasure is found, inviting your whole body to savor it. More than anything, sensuality is about being present with your physical body and aware of how it interacts with the world. If you've ever eaten a juicy piece of fruit and found yourself closing your eyes to savor each succulent bite, if you've been outside and stopped suddenly to drink in the sweet scent of a flower, if you've ever listened to music and felt your body begin to move with the beat without prompting, you have had a sensual experience. You don't need to be taught how to be sensual. Sensuality is inherently within you, and you can access it at any time. Okay? So, Shaween, I'm coming back around to you. How did that definition resonate with you?
Cool. Can I tell you what I was thinking?
Please do.
Whilst you were reading it?
Please.
First thing that came to my mind is, boy, look, I take a man's soul. That's the first thing, because I'm listening. Yeah, just listen. There's method to the madness.
Okay.
I'm listening and I'm thinking, Jesus Christ. Okay. So in every single thing you do, from the way you speak, to the way you touch somebody, to the way you look at them, to the way you move, to the way you walk, to the way you eat, every single thing could be sensual. Yes. So the next date I go on, I will be very aware of that.
First of all, please hold on 1 second.
Very aware.
Hold on 1 minute.
Shit.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Okay.
I'm sorry to butt in, Shaween.
She's not sorry, but
I have had the pleasure to bear witness Shaween in action.
Right.
And Shaween is very aware. Because the way Shaween, and even her daughter knows that, when Shaween watch a man in his eyes, okay, she knows when she longs eyes with a man. She understands that power, okay? And Shaween has a very beautiful smile, okay?
Yes, she does.
And Shaween will watch them in their eyes straight and not break that gaze, okay? And smile for them. She'll touch their arms. She'll look at him straight in his eyes and say, "You're very sexy, you know."
Fiona, don't give it all away, please. I beg.
I mean, you're really giving away Shaween's playbook, Fiona.
No, but it's not not bullshit. That's the thing. It's not something she's faking. It's something that she feels that in that moment, how Shaween operates cannot be faked. She locks into that sensuality. And she would tell a man straight, Gassa. So I don't understand. And maybe Shaween, you're not aware of it.
Maybe I'm not. I think what it is now. Interestingly, when Finola was on, Finola made me think of Samantha, and we all know. Do we know who Samantha is? Samantha, she's my alter ego, and when I'm in Samantha mode, I don't want to say I behave differently. I'm more confident. And maybe it's alcohol. Maybe it's something else.
I disagree, because many times you have been 100% sober. It's just a part of you.
It's just a part of me, but I'm not aware of it at the time. I am not aware. I don't know if that makes sense. And I don't want to sound like somebody who's schizophrenic or something. But I'm not aware. But coming back to what we're speaking about, that definition you gave, Chantal, I'm like, so if I'm actually aware, could you imagine the damage?
But this is the thing, Shaween, and I want to come back to where you actually said something that you felt it was inherent to you. Because it is. Sensuality is, if you think about where the root word of sensuality, it's senses. So you're thinking the way things taste, the way things smell, the way things look, hearing, feeling. It's about your senses. And so I found it really interesting that you said, when I'm on my next date, because the question that I have for you is, why does your sensuality have to equate to involving someone else? Why does it have to be connected to a date? Because you can be having a sensual experience by yourself, like eating some fresh bread.
Yes.
And the smell of that bread and the sight of the slab of butter melting on that bread, you know, and you allowing yourself the time to really be in that experience.
Yeah.
So your senses are heightened.
I think, and again, it's back to us equating. I equated sensuality to sex. You understand? To giving or receiving that type of pleasure, never to anything else. So back to what I'm saying, that definition really, it's from the minute it starts. It's not even, gosh, I don't know how to explain it. It's just opened my mind up to so many different things. Because I was looking at it purely from a sexual nature, or from a point at which to involve somebody else. But it's not. It's everything. So that's what I'm saying. If I actually tap in and take notice, because I'm not taking notice of it. You think I sit down there? Of course, I'm enjoying a mango. Of course, I enjoy drinking an ice cold Puerto, but I will never equate it to sensuality. You get me?
Interesting, right?
Very interesting. So that's why I said I will snatch somebody's soul, because if I start being aware of every single fucking thing I do, could you imagine?
Yes.
Could you imagine? If I'm already like that.
Incredible. But can you imagine really being fully present in your body?
Fully present, right? Exactly.
And recognizing that you are, number one, a sensual being, right? And every moment of your day can quite possibly be a sensual experience.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
This just blew my mind. I'm like, oh.
Right. But it's so wonderful.
It is.
Because if you start to practice that on a daily basis, right?
Yes.
And that is what, when I said for me, like my thinking, even though it was in a way equated to or linked to being a sexual being as well, I did have an understanding that sensuality was broader than that, but I didn't quite know how, right? So when I did start my journey in exploring sensuality and what that really means, mind blown. Yes. Mind blown, but it makes so much damn sense.
I feel the same way. I always felt that there was more to it. It's not supposed to be just about someone else or sex, but I'm like, okay, if it's just like within myself, but then it's like, okay, I just, as you said, don't know how, like it was never the way you broke it down, Chantal. I've never heard it be described.
It's not me yet. It's the writer.
Well, the writer. Well, okay.
That writer just
is Ivan Whitney. Let's be clear.
And I mean, the thing is, because even still, even if you're talking about, say, eating a mango or whatever, it's always about, if you're eating a mango in a sensual way, or to associate sensuality with eating a mango, it's about who is watching you eat that mango and associating it with something else.
Yes, it's about the gaze. And more often than not, it's about the male gaze, right?
Exactly. Yep. Yep. So it's interesting, even if it's eating a piece of bread, it's like, oh, how your mouth going on the bread, or tastes so good. Ooh. So it is always about how it is received by someone else. And then therefore that amplifies your experience of eating the mango, because like, oh, this person is really enjoying me eating the mango whilst I'm also eating the mango. But it's not just about you just eating the mango.
Exactly. Nice. So it's if you are aware and make it about you, could you see how much that could change the way so many things, the way you behave, the way you move, it could change a lot. So mind blown, people. Mind
blown, right? And I will definitely post this particular journal, Sensual Self, in the show notes, because I want you all to get a copy of it. It is literally changing the way that I experience my days. And we are here to experience life fully, right? In every way. And so can you imagine, as you said, all our minds have been blown by Yvan's definition of sensuality. And then diving into her journal, it's just like, oh my God, I can feel the way, like this morning when I woke up, I didn't put on any music. I didn't put on a podcast. I lay in my bed, guys, and I listened to the sounds of the morning.
Okay.
And I felt the breeze from my fan on my skin. And when I say I felt it, like I could feel the hairs moving on my arm, because I have hairs on my arm. What? And I was like, oh my goodness, this feels so good, because I was allowing my senses to connect to the experience. Like I wasn't rushing to put on music, which would then distract me, right? And so the sounds, and you guys know I enjoy the sounds of nature, but I really just very purposefully did not do anything but lay in my bed and allow the morning to come to me. And it was so beautiful to experience it that way. And what that does, you are traveling through your day with this sense of calm almost, because you are allowing yourself to be present and allowing your senses to respond and to feel. And so even the way I've found now that the way that I'm reacting to stressful situations or whatever is different. And this is only, I only started to do the workbook maybe 2 weeks ago. And it's really been helping me navigate certain experiences. And I'm like, yo, this is deep soul work.
Yeah,
and it's deep soul work for our Black community. It's important work for us. And maybe we should reach out to Yvonne and see if she would come on the show.
I think we should. I was thinking that the business brain of mine thinking, hey.
Right?
Yes.
Let's get Yvonne on the show. I think let's try it. Let's try and do that. So for anyone listening, if y'all are connected that way, of course we'll reach out to her ourselves, but you know what? It takes a village. So if anyone wants to reach out, please do. But what we're actually going to do just for maybe the next 15 minutes of the show is we're going to dive into the workbook, and I'm going to randomly select questions for myself, Shaween, and Fiona to consider.
Help me, Father.
Hola. I will try and make them the questions that don't require, because some of them are quite intense, and I don't want to just ask the questions and leave you guys like, okay, so what next, Chantal? Right. Okay. And for anyone who's been listening to our podcast since we launched last year, our very first episode where we did the Know Thyself cards.
True.
I was thinking about those cards.
Yes.
Right. We should definitely do a follow-up. We should do a follow-up to that. So this is going to be quite similar to that, where we select one question from Yvonne Whitney's Sensual Self. We allow ourselves to answer the questions. And also, if you're listening, you too should consider the questions. If you have a notebook handy, or even just put us on pause, go get one, come back, and then you can join in, right? Right. So, Fiona.
Oh dear. Okay.
Are we going to do the drum roll? Maybe we'll do the drum roll.
Yeah.
Finish this sentence, Fiona.
Okay.
Right. And be honest, because this is work, right? This is work. Finish this sentence. I feel my most sensual when. When do you feel your most sensual, Fiona?
But I answered that question already.
No,
I'm sorry.
I'm asking
Finola answered that question already.
Asking Fiona. I'm not asking Finola. I'm asking Fiona. When do you feel your most sensual?
Like the meme with the woman's like,
I just nodded on our podcast. Yay.
I would say that I would mirror Finola's previous sentiments.
Really?
Yes.
I think that's a cop-out. Shall we?
Okay.
Me too. I think that's a proper cop-out.
Okay, thank you.
This is because what I've learned today is new, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this is something that you should ask me in a couple of weeks' time, because I'm still speaking about previous experiences of where I reference what I think or thought sensuality is, right?
Okay.
So therefore, my instant reference is those previous experiences of where I believe that. So in terms of me having a more heightened awareness of how dynamic sensual experiences are, I think it's only fair to ask me in a couple of weeks.
Okay. All right. We will come back to this for you. Fiona
Get her another question. Give her another question.
We'll come back around, Shaween. Don't worry. We're coming back around. Right. So Shaween, what about you? When do you feel your most sensual? I feel my most sensual when?
I feel my most sensual, I think, when I'm dancing with somebody. It is with somebody. I have to say with somebody, because that's the only thing I equated sensuality to before. But I think when I'm dancing with somebody and just dancing and watching them in their eye, there's that look. There's that look, when you're looking at somebody, and I'm thinking of one person, one particular person, and that's when I feel my most sensual. Is when I'm dancing face to face with that person and just looking at them. No, there's no kissing, there's no nothing, just dancing. That's it. That's one of the times when I feel the most sensual, and the person going with me and following my every move and whatnot. To me, that's what I equate sensuality to. And when I feel the most sensual.
That's really lovely, Shaween. And asking myself the question, and this is prior to my research and whatever, but I have always felt my most sensual when I've had a really luxurious shower, when I have exfoliated my skin with the most beautifully scented products, right? And I come out of the shower, my skin is still damp, and then I get a beautiful body oil and I am moisturizing my skin in that way. So there's now layers and layers of scent. And I love smelling good. And I've often been told that I smell good, so I'll take it. And then just honestly, just lying naked on my bed, having done that, because scent for me is sensual. That experience, I love smells. And so for me, that has always been a very sensual experience. And I do feel my most sensual after having done that. And that's my honest truth. And I mean, what happens after that, if there's someone present, is a whole different story. But
there don't need to be somebody. What about if you pleasure yourself? Hello. I think that's another time when you've been very sensual. I don't know for you, but for me.
Hello. So yeah, that is when I feel my most sensual. There's something about, I don't know, just the act. I love showers. Like, how people love baths? I love showers. I love that water running all the way from the crown of my head, from my crown chakra, as they would say, down to my root. I love being immersed in water. And then that whole experience, and even my bathroom then smells of the scents that I've used, and you can follow my scent wafting through my space. Like, yo, I really love that. So Chantal, that is my response.
Chantal, so Finola, who left the room, she's on here now. She heard what you said. She's like, she feels very cheap because she said sucking dick. So you said she was talking about chakras and cuddles and exfoliated.
Oh my God.
Skin.
Listen, hey, Finola, who has left the room. We are all different.
Finola, it's
and
okay.
There's no judgment here. There's no comparison.
Judgment-free zone.
There's no judgment. Ain't none of that. Okay, and it's not a
yes, Finola, you are a little bitch.
Finola, we love you. And we all have a bit of Finola in us. So what's the problem?
I will relay the message to her. Okay.
Please. Oh, yes. Please. Please do.
Finola like to give head.
Please do, Fiona. Okay. Listen, Shaween is dead right.
Cracking up.
Trying to keep it together for you guys is not happening. Not happening in this episode. Lola, we love you. Okay.
Oh God. Finola is a
Finola, you are great. You are great. Oh Lord, let me just flick through the book there. Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm sorry, Finola. We love you.
We love you so much.
We love you.
And we
all. She go already, man. She
go already. Tell her that first.
Okay. We are all Finola, and Finola is we. End of story. Right. Okay. So now this is an interesting one, and it's from the back end of the book. And Yvonne has said that you can just do the questions and do the work at random. It doesn't have to be chronologically. So this is more towards the back of the book. and it's a body check-in. So I find this really interesting, right? What movements or positions does your body want to be in to help it relax and soften in this moment? So it's a body check-in. I'm going to repeat it, right? What movements or positions does your body want to be in to help it relax and soften in this moment? Okay? So have a think about that. Have a think. I will leave Finola for a little bit.
Okay.
And I'll come around to Sherween/Samantha, right? So Sherween, what movement or position does your body want to be in to help it to relax and soften in this moment, right now, this moment?
Right now. Well, right now I'm lying on my bed. I'm lying on my bed, but you know what would make me feel more relaxed? If I was lying and I had my legs wide open.
So why not do that?
Because I have the laptop on me. So I cannot. But when I find, and that's just me in general, when I lie down, I like to lie down. If I lie on my stomach, I would lie down and my legs open, and I feel relaxed that way with my legs wide open. If I'm on my back, I will either have my knees up and my legs open. It's just me. I like having my legs opened, and I feel relaxed. I breathe.
Shut up.
Oh my God! I can't film today.
I was trying to be an adult.
You're the one who asked the question. I'm being very honest. 100% honest.
I'm sorry. Hoy, sir.
Because it's down there holds a lot of heat. It holds a lot of heat.
It's not getting any better, shall we?
When the legs open, I feel relaxed. It's open and I could breathe. I'm breathing. If I'm doing my breathing exercises on a morning, I feel better when my legs are open.
Oh God.
I don't know why.
Okay.
Maybe it's just a comfort position. I don't know.
Boy, it might not any better.
Why am I like this?
Cock up, ass up.
Oh my goodness.
No,
Fiona.
Actually,
is it on your knees?
No, I think mine is the same as
Fiona. Hold up, Sherween. I need to come back to you and this, and I need to apologize because I absolutely understand what you mean. And if this is where you feel the most relaxed, where it is. And so what I was gonna say to you before I absolutely collapsed was that if that is the way that your body feels more relaxed and softer, then you need to get some kind of laptop stand or something where even when you are working, or when you're recording, that you are able to allow your body to fully relax in the way that best suits it. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay, I'll get a laptop stand.
Almost got that. Yeah, man, get a laptop stand because you're living every day. So why shouldn't your moments be as relaxed and soft as they can be?
That's true. Right? I'll get a laptop stand.
So get a laptop stand. Okay. See, I was an adult. I can be an adult.
It's okay.
Well done.
It's okay.
Very good. Very good.
Fiona, I'm going to ask the question to you. What movements or positions does your body want to be in to help it relax and soften in this moment? So not what you want to do last night, yesterday, this morning, right now, because it's about being embodied, right? Fully embodied. That is sensuality. So right now in this moment, what position does your body innately want to be in to relax and to soften?
Well, I'm doing it now, which is pretty much the same as what Sherween describes. I'm lying on the floor though. But one of the things I like to do when I'm doing Relatable, I mean, sometimes I'm sitting in a chair, but a lot of the time I like to lie on the floor. and I'm stretching my legs, and a lot of it is having my legs wide open because I like the feeling of the stretch. Yeah. So it's like my back is flat on the surface, and I'm stretching my legs. So my legs will be like up in the air, or like I would open them and stuff, or like I would bend them, and just kind of feeling this, like stretching the muscles of like my thighs, especially. Right. Feels very therapeutic to me, and it's nothing. It's nothing sexual, and I know, like with show into, it's not sexual. It's just
no, it wasn't.
It's not sexual at all. It just feels nice. Yeah, it just feels nice, and I think it's just kind of reconnecting to your body. I don't exercise enough. I don't stretch enough, but I definitely, that's the thing I enjoy the most.
I really appreciate that, Fiona. And you said something there about, your body, and that's what it is. It is about bringing that level of comfort to your body, right? And I love that. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest with my response and actually adjust myself now. And so what a wonderful reminder this particular prompt is, because when I record our podcast, I'm sat on a chair at my table. I have my mic set up, have the phone set up, and any reading material that we are referencing. And so I'm very much in this kind of at attention mode. And what would relax me right now in this moment, and you may hear me dragging a chair towards me, is to elevate my feet. And I've done that now. And the way that my legs feel so much better already instantly. And so it just hits me. Why don't I think about these things more often? Right? Why don't I think about the way that I'm sitting and speaking and holding my body more often? And that's because I feel that I am still working on being fully aware and present in my body. And so I have elevated my feet, and it feels so damn good. Yeah. So then why don't I just do that?
Exactly. That's the thing.
Why don't I just set it up when we're recording the podcast that my feet are elevated? I do all the things, like I light my incense before we start, I sage and all the things. But this one little adjustment has made me feel so much better in my body right now. Again, mind blown.
Oh, we have a treat for you this week with Under the Mango Tree. This week, we're going to be listening to the sounds of some grown men and women, big people things, playing some proper dominoes. And let me tell you, this is where we need to be right now. I could close my eyes and I could see these men at a table, music playing and dominoes blasting. So I hope you enjoy.
Oh, you want to make me figure light?
I haven't done anything wrong, Sonny.
You bang the domino down, you have magic, you know you
What's
have
that? I know.
You the domino knock your
I
hand,
know.
use your hand, knock.
Sam don't stand. How much my girl?
Oh, see, no, you're not ashamed, sir. Why?
And you have 8.
That's
9 gas, 7 I have there.
Yeah, 7
gas.
Yes, 7.
You have a nice 7. Yeah. Good
Fresh,
7. Refresh. No, it's not falling because the way we slam in it, we will not. Yeah, but you just have to keep it close to us. Yeah. Come on, get it down. Yeah. So what is it all about? The recording is about the domino family.
It's just for a series.
A series?
Yeah.
So why you bringing that series?
China.
To where? Not you, I'm not talking to you.
Spotify, on Apple.
Apple?
Yeah.
I want to put it on grapes instead. Too much apple, I don't like apple. I have too much apple phone. I want a grip phone and a grip domino. Just like I'm seeing a grip lady. Yeah, I love that lady.
Thank you.
Yes, young lady. Beautiful.
Bang the domino.
Oh, bang it hard.
Yeah, it's a
come on. Yeah,
yeah.
Move your hand, man.
Yeah, there's
Move your hand, you bitch. Move your hand.
There's it.
Yeah, move the hand. Yeah,
There's
sure.
the song.
Oh, that's the sound.
Yeah, there's the
okay,
song.
I'm gonna give you the song, honey. You want a song, all right?
Yeah, song.
Okay. want the song? Yeah, you want the song? Yeah, that's the song.
This song.
It's not falling, it's not going anywhere. I knock.
For true.
Yeah, I have to do the song, yeah. Yeah, don't give him nothing he had before. Give him something long before. Oh shit!
Lady Red.
I warned you. Didn't I warn you? I mentioned that to you. Like seriously?
Lady Red.
You knock?
He play.
No, he ain't knock, huh? He ain't knock. You say we're here, boy.
Villa day.
Afen. You finish already, Sonny? Check what that man doing.
Vinny, how you finish already?
I don't know the domino. I give you I give you a nugget.
You pass it to 6 and you pass it to 4 again.
Yo, okay, so this is the last question, and I am smiling. I'm smiling as I'm reading this. If your sensuality were an animal, which animal would it be?
Ooh. Ooh. That's a hard one.
Ooh, that, I mean, I have to think about that one.
Is it before having this new knowledge or after?
Well, right now. So if you've gained knowledge in this small session that we've done, so be it, Fiona, but just be your authentic self, be you right now in this moment. So if you feel that you have garnered something that has changed your perception, right, of sensuality, and now you're being asked this question, if your sensuality were an animal, which animal would it be? Answer from the heart.
Okay. You want me to do it now?
Yeah, man.
A panther.
Hey, tell us why.
They're slow. They can go from very slow and calculated and measured movements in order for them to capture their prey and stuff, and how intense they are. But they also, because you're so agile and the fact that they're so fast. And I think like a dream that I have a lot is always, I'm not flying. I'm always like jumping really high and ending up very high in the sky and jumping back down. But that feeling of being suspended in the air, kind of mid-jump. Panthers feel that. And that to me is using your body as a way to find joy and happiness. Right?
Nice. I love and I get the movement. Oof.
Yes, the movement. And agility is the top thing about panthers, number one. And I think it suits both my previous perception of sensuality and now my newly informed version. Yes.
Okay. I don't even know. I'm trying to think what animal for me. I don't know. The same thing keeps on coming up. So I guess that's what I'm going to share because I keep on coming back to it. But I don't quite know how it's linked to my sensuality. And I don't know if it's because I've been seeing a lot of them lately and they're actually coming closer and closer to me. And one landed on me and I let it. And no, it's not lizards.
Oh God, I was going to say.
That would never happen. Never. I keep on thinking of butterflies.
Ooh. Okay.
I keep on thinking of butterflies because there is a lightness of being for them. Or that's what I feel from them. When I see them, there's a lightness in their existence, right? For me, they bring so much beauty. Like I will see a butterfly and stop everything I'm doing, no matter where I am. And no matter how old am I, how many butterflies have I seen in my life? But each time I see one, the way that it makes, I just light up. I just light up. And for me, that's how I want to experience life, because we all know how a butterfly becomes a butterfly, right? The metamorphosis that it goes through from being a caterpillar and all the things. And then out of that emerges this beautiful light being that just brings so much joy. And so for me, my sensuality, because of my life's experiences, and one of the reasons why I wanted to explore that more is because of my life experiences, is that sensuality can emerge. Even though it's inherent, it can be hidden for whatever reasons. You can be avoiding it for whatever reasons. You cannot be aware of it. You don't embody it. But there's always an opportunity for you to go through that growth and grow into your sensuality. And maybe that's the connection that I make with the butterfly. Yeah. So I would liken my own sensuality to a butterfly. Shaween, what about you?
Okay. One keeps sticking out for me, keeps coming back. And I'm starting to see why. Okay. So it's a male peacock.
Nice.
And I'll tell you why. I think it has to do with me coming back home. Last week we spoke about being different. And it's like I'm in my neighborhood. I'm the new neighbor on the streets. People don't know me. And I have my bright red hair. I dress differently. I wear you remember our big long dress, Chantal, I bought. I wear that and I may be sweeping the streets of Castries. But I'm dressing differently. I speak differently. I walk differently. We walk fast. People know straight away we from overseas because everybody on a merry time, but we walking like we running because we so used to walking fast in London. So I walk fast and I just feel like everywhere I go, not just with me, but with the kids as well, everywhere we go, everybody's like, oh, look at these people, look at this one. Now just somebody said something, just come back, JCB. You remember in one of the previous episodes, somebody called us JCB.
Yes, they did. And I know who that person was.
Yes, I could feel it. Because everywhere we go, my neighbors, when I pass outside, everybody, how you doing? How, and I know it's not just us. They're nice to everybody, but I just feel like, a male peacock, when it opens up its feathers and it's showing off, it's on display. You understand? That's how I feel. That's the animal that's being evoked right now for me, because I've just arrived in St. Lucia and everybody's looking at us. Everybody's looking at us. So yeah, that's my reasoning behind it.
I love that, Shaween. Wow. So ladies, how do you feel now about sensuality, and how do you think you're going to explore what it means to be a sensual being going forward?
Girl, I'm telling you, I'll be watching everything I do. I'll be watching it. I'll be taking notes. I'll be aware. I'll be conscious of the way, what I'm doing and how it makes me feel, how my senses react to it. I will be conscious of it. And like I said, I will snatch somebody's soul, because now that I'm aware of it, I will use it to my advantage.
Okay.
I think she's been doing that, so I don't know why.
Right. Well, now I'm aware.
Yo.
Now I'm aware.
Okay, Fiona, what about you?
I think I feel very encouraged.
Yes.
Because this is just a new way to find joy and pleasure. And as we were saying, the word pleasure is always associated with sex, right? But eating a mango is pleasurable. Or as you say, a hot bread with some butter melt into that, just the smell of that is pleasure. It has nothing to do with sex. So I think it's just about having an awareness of the things that give me pleasure and really tapping into it and really honing in on that moment of pleasure in my life and recognizing it. I think that's what we need to do, because it's like moments of, it's not, our happiness is not dependent on like massive moments of joy or big events or big wins. It's, as they say, it's the little things.
Yeah.
And I think this, and that's why I say it's encouraging, because it's making me want to look at the little things with fresh eyes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
So that's what I feel about it.
Yeah. So we got to work on getting Ivan on the show, man.
Yes, I think that sums it up for me, as the same with Fiona, looking at the little things with fresh eyes. Yeah. I love that.
I love when we have these conversations, guys. It's important. It's important that we speak about these things. it's almost as if, oh, not almost as if, it is that we are really wanting to expand how we experience life, and also for our community to do so as well. And, you know, there's the element of breaking generational traumas. As Black people, we come from beauty and power and wonder and also trauma, right? And there's this learned behavior, things that we have been indoctrinated with from birth that's been passed on from generation to generation. And I almost feel like we're in a time where there's like a sector of, and not just within our community, but just globally, of people who are like, you know what? Nah, just nah. That's not how we're going to be experiencing life. That's not how our children, our nieces, our nephews, generations after us are going to be experiencing life. And we're doing the work. But in doing the work for ourselves, we do the work for our communities. And I just feel that in this moment that this conversation will lend towards that. So really happy that you guys were open to this.
Yay!
Me too.
And yeah, let's ramp up, man. Let's ramp up our sensual selves. So moving on from that, moving swiftly along. And also, thank you for joining us, Finola. But moving on.
I will relay the message to her.
Thank you so much.
Such a joy.
Let's talk about what's been bringing you joy this week. Because we spoke about, you know, the challenges and so forth. And for me, there's always balance to be found somewhere. And for all three of us, we know this. So what brought you joy this week, Sherween?
It's being home that's bringing me joy. That it's easy. That's easy. Was it yesterday? No, it wasn't yesterday. It was day before yesterday. I can't remember where I was going. And I saw this friend of mine I've not seen since before we left high school.
Wow.
And she recognized me and I recognized her. And I was like, hold on a second. Is that Pinky? And she said, is that Crescentia? And I'm like, Pinky.
I love that.
I got the biggest hug from her. I gave her the biggest hug. And it was just like, oh my God, you know, seeing this person I've not seen, but we recognized each other. And it was just beautiful, Gasa. It was really nice. So it's just, I have to say, it's just being at home that's bringing me joy. I'm watching the sunrise every morning, and the sunset every evening. And it's just like, I needed that. So this is what's bringing me joy. That was easy.
Oh, I'm happy for you. Miss Fiona, what has brought you joy this week?
It's a tough one, eh? It's a tough one.
Fine.
It's a tough one because I think this week has just blended. The days have blended into each other because, like I explained, I'm just trying to cover myself with work. But I'll tell you what's bringing me joy at this very moment.
Yes.
Which I do believe is a highlight. So I'm here in my son's room recording Relatable. Jariah's doing his thing. He's watching TV and stuff in my room. The smells that are coming from my kitchen right now, because my partner is cooking, and that man can real cook. I can't wait for this podcast to finish. What? Because
Fiona, it's tapping into your sensuality. That's what it is.
You know what?
Your sense of smell.
I am in a very sensual experience
You're
now because the smells that are being emitted from the kitchen into the bedroom here are the most divine.
The
most divine. I don't even know what Daman making, but it smells incredible. So I am, the anticipation of it all is bringing me so much joy.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
It's okay.
Oh, me. I'm just like, I want some of that food. What has brought me joy this week? And I really have to think, right? Because as I said, this week, work-wise, has been like a month in a week. And what brought me joy this week was that I have been very intentionally switching off all my devices by 8:30 latest, and rereading one of my favorite books for the summer.
Okay.
And I have been really enjoying it because the things that I may have missed the first time around, and I'm like, oh my goodness, how, and it's really been bringing me joy. So yeah, rereading one of my favorite summer books. And I will be speaking about this book more, and I very purposefully did not name it.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be doing something with the book. So I can't
exciting.
talk anymore about
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that has actually really, because it's such a beautiful book and beautifully written. And because I was having such a week, I'm like, you know what? Picked it up again, started to reread it. Yeah, man. It's been serving me well.
Oh, good. That's wonderful.
So, folks, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode as we journey through sensuality. What it means to us. What does it mean to you? You should let us know. We'd love to hear your thoughts, your feedback. And if you agree or disagree with this new perspective of what sensuality is, let us know. You can catch us on all the streaming platforms. You know them. And remember that a shared journey
brings hope.
See you guys next week.
Relatable, because a shared journey brings hope.